Alright, this is a video on how to draw Activity 2.2 perspective sketching, which is this one, which is just taking the 1-point perspective from Activity 2.2 number 1 and drawing it in number 2 spot. If you feel confident doing that, I encourage you to go ahead. If not, I've set up a modifier just like I did for number 1. So you would draw this shape as your modified shape, and like it says, you must include the front, top, and right side. And remember, the blue is the front, yellow is the top, and the red is the side. So if we go over to my document camera, you'll see that you have a completed one over here already. I kind of did it in the opposite fashion where I started off with the completed one. See the construction lines. Now, when I'm doing it with you, I'm going to do my construction lines in orange to make them more visible, and then I will come in later to neaten it up and make it like that. So how am I going to start this one? I'm going to use the vanishing point from the other one. I made another vanishing point over here. I'm going to pick a spot. Notice I keep the vanishing points on the same plane. That will cause less headaches, and I'm just going to try to find the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to use this as about the middle, and I'm going to go up, use my triangle to keep it neat for you guys. Remember, I'm going to make the big box first, and then I'm going to cut stuff out from it. You wouldn't have to do that if you wanted to. You could have just gone up like this far and then drawn this little box and then added to it. Either way is correct. This is just how I'm deciding to do things. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to connect these guys up like so. I'm going to connect this up. Remember, the orange is construction lines. Let me connect that up like that. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. And then I've got to go in and kind of figure out how deep I want to make it before I can finish the big box. So it's kind of like a 2:1 ratio. So like if I go over 2 versus 1, that'll kind of give it to me pretty good, like the ratio. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over 2. I'm going to come over 1 to make my box. So 2:1 ratio. Go this way and go this way. So now I just got to kind of come in here and do the cutout. So this is kind of more of a guessing. So I'm going to say right here looks like a good spot. So that's the spot I'm going to pick. I'm going to make sure that this goes from here to here. I'm going to bring it back the other way. So this is where my main box is, and to make it more visible to you, I can actually draw this in. You know, this is one of the main boxes that I'm going to keep. I know that that's a fact. This bottom line I know is a fact. This line right here I know we're keeping, and this one up here I know I'm keeping. Now these ones I have to remove stuff from all of them. To do that, I need to figure out how far back I need to go. So I need to go about halfway back, which is nice because I got this line. Is it perfect? Maybe. I'm going to select this line for my one in the middle. And just like before, we'll connect the line going this way. So that's the L. And then I need to draw a line going this way. And a line going that way. And where those intersect is where I'm going to finish that L shape, which goes from down here where these lines intersect and goes up. And that should be hitting, if we draw it right, at the same spot. If it's off a little, you're going to have to live with it. In theory, if you did all the perspective right, should hit it exactly the right spot. Mine was a little off. That happens to you, it just could be a little sloppiness. So I'm just going to finish darkening up what I'm going to keep. And for this one, you get to leave your construction lines. So I've got my shape in there, got my construction lines, and that is how you do the 2-point perspective for the modified shape. Now yours for these may end up different depending on how far apart you space your perspective points, or if you raise them up or down. That may affect things. But as long as you get the general idea in, I think you're going to do just fine.